Welcome to WRPS TV. My name is Bella Heckman, and I'm here with Caroline Corbett.
We would like to thank our guest, Mr. Macallister, the Rogers Middle School principal. We have some interesting questions for you, but first, thank you and welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me.
Oh no, of course. So to start us off with our first question, how are you going to make this school better?
That's a great question. One of the things that I really appreciate with Rogers Middle School is how well run our Unified Arts programs are. And so I really want to continue to embrace the Unified Arts and continue to support them and make sure that all students have access to them and even begin to expand them when possible.
How long have you been at Rockland?
I've been teaching in Rockland for 19 years.
So why did you want to become a teacher and what did you teach?
I really kind of fell into teaching accidentally. I was doing some substitute teaching when I was in college to make a little bit of money and absolutely fell in love with it. So I went back to school and got a degree in history and immediately came to Rockland High School where I spent 18 years teaching history and 7 years as department chair for the History Social Science Department.
So how do you intend to show school pride?
I have been fortunate to have an opportunity to participate in just about everything in Rockland. I had an opportunity to coach the boys soccer team. I had an opportunity to coach the girls varsity tennis team, as well as the boys tennis team. I've had an opportunity to be involved in athletics and plays and clubs. So really anything that the school is excited to promote, I am always on board and I am always going to be a willing participant. I think anytime administration can embrace those programs and embrace those activities, it has a really positive trickle-down effect and helps to get the staff excited and the students excited about the school and the district as well.
Wow. So what are you going to bring to the middle school from the high school?
One of the things that I really appreciated at the high school level was student academic rigor. It was really nice to see students that were taking their academics seriously and really push themselves to be not only better students, but more avid learners. So I'm excited to bring that ideology to the middle school and really try to promote academic rigor amongst the students, but also encourage students to step outside of their comfort zone. I think sometimes we are comfortable being safe with classes that maybe we are more, that we are stronger in. So anytime that we can push ourselves outside of that comfort level, it's going to make us a stronger individual, and I think it's going to broaden our academics. So for example, in middle school, you guys have exposure to world language classes for the first time. And I think for a lot of students that can become scary, that can become a little unnerving. So I think embracing that anxiety and embracing the idea of learning something new in a new language that can broaden your horizons, I think that's a really positive thing to encourage. So I'm excited to bring that to the middle school.
Wow. So in the cafeteria, a lot of students have wanted to know if we could have seasons next school year.
That's a great question. So that's something that I'd have to look at with our CAF manager to see what is available to us. So that's not necessarily something that I can dictate. But I'd be more than happy to work with students and work with other staff members to see what we're allowed to bring into the CAF and making sure that students' allergies are looked at. And we don't want to put any student in a jeopardized position. So making sure that whatever we do bring into the CAF is safe for everyone to have access to, and obviously making sure that students have access to things in moderation.
Yeah.
So what changes do you want to make over the next 10 years?
That's a great question. I think in my first year, I'd like the opportunity to kind of see what is working really well and what might be areas of concern. I think we have amazing staff and incredible students and support staff. And so I think the opportunity to see how things are running this year, and then after this year, if there are areas of concern that pop up that staff members or students want to see changed, I think that's an opportunity for the administrative team to look at and to make sure that we have voices of the students and voices of the parents and voices of faculty members before we make any changes. So I would have to say step one is to make sure that I keep my eyes open this year and my ears open this year, and make sure that I pay close attention to what's working well and what's not working well. And then we can look at changes down the line.
Mm-hmm. So what fundraising ideas do you have?
Ooh, that's a great one. Any fundraising that involves food, I'm certainly on board. So anytime that I can purchase snacks during the day, I'm certainly going to agree with. I think there are a lot of great opportunities for students to reach out to local businesses. We have a lot of really good local businesses that are eager to help and support the school system. So I think getting students out there and giving them an opportunity to communicate with those businesses and see what those businesses might be willing to do to work with us and support us can always be helpful. There are a lot of great dinner programs. I know that we've used the 99 restaurant in the past has been a great one for fundraisers. So I think anytime clubs and organizations can use those businesses and those businesses are willing to accept us and work with us, that's always beneficial. So I like when the community has an opportunity to embrace the school system. I know we've done a lot with chocolate sales in the past, especially when students go on their 8th grade Philly field trip. And again, anything that allows me to buy snacks during the day, I think is going to be a good thing. So.
Yeah. So there have been rumors about filtration devices and the water fountains not working properly. Is this something we could repair?
Yeah, I think our custodial staff does a great job with monitoring the filtration system. So anytime that the filters are past their dates, we make sure that those are monitors and those are changed out as quickly as possible. And we'll make sure that staff members on each floor and students, if you guys notice that those buttons are beginning to turn orange or if they turn red, to make sure that you notify administration so we can communicate that with our custodial staff and get those changed out as quickly as possible.
So the high school has home ec. We were wondering, could we bring this to the middle school?
One of my most favorite things at the high school is when the students did their decorative cookie days and teachers got to be brought down into the home ec classes to be able to sample the cookies. So if that's something that we can bring to the middle school, and maybe what we'll do is we'll survey the students and see if that's a class that the students would be interested in taking and find a way to get that to the middle school over time. I certainly would be agreeable to that. I've always enjoyed the home ec program. I think one of the greatest skill sets is being able to cook. And so watching students at the high school be able to navigate the kitchen and tinker with recipes and work with their baking and cooking skills was always really exciting to see. And the kids always did a phenomenal job. So if that's something that we can bring to the middle school, I think that would be really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how could we revamp or edit the advisory program?
With the student advisory, as in students being advisors or teachers advising the students?
Oh, it's the advisory program that we use. It's second step, and it's just very repetitive.
So, with the bulldog. So, what you guys are referring to as bulldog block in the middle school. Mm-hmm. So, bulldog block at the high school was very different. It was less of an academic block, and it was more of an opportunity for students and staff members to be able to come together and share ideas of fun things that they enjoyed. I know at the middle school, it's used for academic purposes, so you guys end up repeating one of your periods a day. for the first half, and then the second half is an opportunity for students to be able to get caught up with missing assignments. So I think it's worth us looking at in the future. If students feel like it's not effective, or staff members feel like it's not effective, we can certainly make changes to it. What I don't want to take away from students is the opportunity to use in-school time to be able to get caught up on missing assignments. So if you're absent for a test, the quicker you can make that assessment up, the better. Or if you have missing assignments that are due, it's always easier to be able to make those assignments up in front of the teacher to be able to receive help. So if it's benefiting the student population academically, and it's giving staff members an opportunity to be able to get caught up on some of those missing assignments, then I think it's going to be difficult to be able to change. But if we feel like we're caught up with those assessments and those assignments, and we feel like students are getting enough face time in front of their teachers academically, then it certainly is an opportunity for us to look at making changes to it down the line.
Yeah. So I think that concludes. Right? Okay. So
Thank you, Mr. Macallister, for coming to WRPS and talking to us.
I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
From the WRPS studio, I'm Caroline Corbett.
And I'm Bella Heckman.
Have a good day.